Hello, this is LDSBookReviews.com and my name is Ryan Daly, and today we're going to do something a little different. Today, instead of just a book, we're going to do an antiques or collectibles review. And today we're going to do a Kirtland Safety Society banknote. You can see it there. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, Kirtland Safety Society banknote. You're going to see $1, all that good stuff. Let me give you a little bit of background. When the Saints went and settled in Kirtland, there was a hope to increase the economic influence of the church and the membership of the church, as well as to build the economic environment there. In order to do so, it wasn't uncommon for local or regional banks to crop up, having their own currency for trade and distribution and things like that. So Joseph Smith and a number of his colleagues formed an anti-banking or a banking society called the Kirtland Safety Society, in which they printed their own money. This was not uncommon at the time. And for those of you who are scholars who fully understand the history, you know I'm way oversimplifying this, and that's just fine for the sake of this video. However, what happened shortly after was the bank failed. The economy did not go in a good direction. A lot of people lost their money, and therefore, from this experience, we get a struggle within the church where a number of people eventually left the church, lost faith in the prophet Joseph Smith, as they had a hard time separating, we would say, business ventures in a very strong or loose context, or even migratory ventures compared to prophetic ventures. There was a great assumption that if the prophet was doing something, that it was 100% sanctioned by the Lord. So this is a unique piece of history, and it is collectible in a number of ways. One, it is a historical document in the LDS faith. It documents the Kirtland era, and it is a significant piece of history. Therefore, it's collectible. Second, it is collectible as a currency. These come in 1, 5, 10s, 20s, 50s, and $100 bills. 1, 5, 1, 3s, 3s as well. Okay? But, so in this, there is also something else that you will notice. You will also notice that they are all countersigned, all the bills, by Joseph Smith, as well as by Sidney Rigdon. Okay? So this is collectible in that element as well. With that being said, however, most of the signatures on these are actually done by secretaries. They were not all done by Joseph Smith. As the story pretty much goes, Joseph Smith did 2 days of signing. He signed some ones and some threes, dollar bills, but eventually it wasn't going to work that he was going to sign. So like most things that he did, he wasn't a big writer, so he passed it to a secretary who signed for him. So as for value on these kind of situations, you have the fact that it's historically collectible, currency collectible. You have the fact that it is presumed to be a strong member of the church collectible, right, with Joseph Smith purported signature. But in this particular one, this is a unique one because as you can see, and I'll do some close-ups on this, as you can see, this signature is different than other signatures. This signature, most of the signatures on all the bills, we know that he signed 1s and 3s, but everything else was signed by his secretary. Okay? And all the other signatures on secretary were extremely grand and voluminous, as you would say. They're usually larger than Sidney Rigdon's. However, on this $1 bill, you have a much smaller, more deliberate handwriting. Remember, Joseph wasn't a writer by trade. Everything that we have in the hand of Joseph actually is not in the hand of Joseph. If you think about the manuscript of the copy of the Book of Mormon, that actually was in Oliver Cowdery's handwriting, right? You have the Book of Revelations, which were in the secretary. You even have his journal that wasn't kept by him, but that was kept by his secretary. And even through the Nauvoo area, he had secretaries sign things for him. So it is very rare to have something actually in the hand of Joseph. And this happens to be one of those with an authentic Joseph Smith signature rather than his secretary. And again, you can tell that because it's a much more deliberate signature compared to the big, whooshing, professional signatures that are done on the others, as well as Sidney Rigdon's signature is also authentic on this one. So you can see ones through 100s on sale with the big swooshing signature as collector items. And they'll say that most of them were holograms, some of them were true signatures of Joseph, and they kind of stay away from acknowledging that they're not true Joseph signatures flat out. But on those, you can see those go anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000, with obviously the $100 bills being more rare. However, the $1 bills were in more distribution and did get destroyed more often. There are a few rare ones that are actually countersigned by Brigham Young and Heber C. Kimball. Later on, when they came to Utah, they tried to kind of revalue the ones that were still hanging out. And so it's unique to have Joseph Smith, Sidney Rigdon, Heber C. Kimball, and Brigham Young, and those are extremely valuable. However, I don't think I've ever seen one with an authentic Brigham Young and an authentic Joseph Smith. Again, it usually was his secretary who signed most of them, because most of the ones that were countered were more than $1, right? They weren't going and reissuing the $1 with much value to them. So, however, when you have an authentic one, it takes the value into an entirely different level. A $1 normally is anywhere from 2 to 5,000, depending on the quality, whatnot, and that's all variable depending on the market. But to have an authentic Joseph Smith signature on anything, let alone a collectible piece of currency, obviously increases the value and the desirability of it. With that, this is a neat little review just to give you a good feel of the collectors. I appreciate and thank those who loaned it to me to do such a review on it. And if you have any questions, let me know.